The Viking Compact Power Pack Jump Starter. USB 12 volt power bank flashlight. This is sold at Harbor Freight. I believe the price is $69 or $79. I think it's $79 without a coupon. Well, you can't use a coupon on this. So the normal price is $79. Sometimes they'll have it on sale for $69. But I paid $79 for this because it was not on sale. And I didn't have a coupon for it. LED battery level indicator, power button, jump start button, engine start input socket, 12 volt DC output port, USB output port, charging input socket, LED flashlight, 17-inch, 8-gauge battery cables. Jump start for motorcycles, power sports, 4 and 6 and 8 cylinder cars. Ultra long battery life, lithium iron phosphate battery. Holds 70% charge after 2 years, 5 times more cycle life, and 4 times more cranks than lead acid battery jumpers. 12,000 milliamp hours. Starting current 221 amps. Peak current 450 amps. So we are going to do a review on this and a review on this. Comparison review. NOCO Genius Boost GB40 12 volt 1000 amps. $24 watt-hour lithium jump starter designed in the USA, made in China. Alright, so let's open this up and see what kind of specs we have on the box. This comes double boxed. Let's get you out of here. There's nothing in here. I already took it out, charged it up fully, and it's ready to do the test. I haven't charged this one up fully yet, and I haven't taken it out of the box. Unboxings are kind of corny. I think it's kind of corny. I just like the reviews and the overview. So that's what I'm going to do. A review slash overview and a comparison slash overview. We're going to test the amperage on a car with a completely dead battery. We're going to hook up an oscilloscope with an amp clamp and see what kind of amperage we get out of both of these units on a car with a completely dead battery. It's an old BMW 325 with a 2.5 liter straight 6, and we are going to jump start it using both of these and showing the current draw on an oscilloscope. We're not doing that right now because it's too dark outside. Alright, so 8 times lighter. Oh, that's not English. Safely jump start a dead battery in seconds. For cars, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, trucks, and more. Recharge from any USB port or the included 12 volt charger. Charge virtually any USB device, including smartphones and tablets. USB is a 2.1 amp output. Yeah, 2.1 amp. Ultra bright dual LED flashlight with 7 modes. Oops, can you see that? Yeah. Ultra bright dual LED flashlight with 7 modes, including SOS and emergency strobe. Ultra safe, spark proof, plus reverse proof, polarity protection. For engines up to 6 liters gasoline and 3 liters diesel. For vehicles with single battery systems. 12 volt lead acid batteries, and that is not in English. 1000 amps, we saw that already. Car and truck, 12 volt NOCO GB40 jump starter. What's here? Nothing new. 8 times lighter, 8 times smaller, holds charge 4 times longer. 7,034 joules, 6,950 joules. Is this supposed to be the JNC 660? I don't know. 1,700 peak amps. 18 pounds. Yeah, those jump starters are heavy. I can believe it's 18 pounds. Joules? What the hell are joules? That doesn't mean anything to me. We want to see what kind of amps this thing's put out. Why wouldn't they just give you amps? It says 1,000 amps, but I don't believe that this thing is going to put out 1,000 amps of cranking amperage, cranking current. But we'll see. We will see. My amp probe doesn't go that high, but I don't think we're going to need that much because I don't think any car uses 1,000 amps to crank. Should see a few hundred amps peak, if that. Oh, we got a little bit more information on the bottom. Designed in the USA, made in China, we know that. 2.1 amp USB, and that's in Arabic. I guess it comes with a 40-inch cable, 40-inch USB cable. I didn't pay much attention to the accessories in the box. It's probably there. Anyway, review coming up, so keep watching. AutoFixPile.com. Alright, so we are going to do the jump start test, and we are going to measure the current, and we are going to measure the voltage. We have the oscilloscope hooked up right here. Alright, so we have the oscilloscope hooked up to the battery. Negative and positive. That is on channel 2. And as you can see, channel 2 is reading a maximum of 320 millivolts. Oh, 280 millivolts. Because this battery is dead, like completely dead. It's been sitting for months without starting. And that battery will not start this car up at all. And we have our amp clamp right here. That is the channel 1, that's the red trace. The yellow trace is the voltage, and the red trace is amperage. We have that set to a 100 amp scale. I know it's kind of hard to see, sorry about that. And we have our two jump packs right here. Genius Boost GB40 and the Viking from Harbor Freight. Alright, so the first one we will test is the Viking. So let me go ahead and get that set up. Alright, so we have everything almost set up. We got 1 volt, 1.2 volts on the battery, and I had to switch that to a 2 volt scale because 1 volt scale will bring it off of the screen on the oscilloscope. But we're still on the 100 amp scale on the red trace. And the booster is connected. Hopefully we got a good connection. It is not turned on yet. So let me hook my amp clamp up first. I've already zeroed the amp clamp out. And we are going to go with the positive lead. It doesn't matter if we go negative or positive, but that's where we're going to connect it. We've got 0 amperage flow right now. We are on a 200 millisecond time base. Oh my god, my power lead came off. These little tiny leads. I need better leads for this car. Bigger leads. Alright. So we are connected again. Alright. Everything is set up. So let's go ahead and turn on the jump starter, as you can see. Well, maybe you can't see. It's kind of hard to capture it, but it's at 100%. Yeah, now you can see it. All 4 lights are on. It's 100% charge. Now we are going to hit the jump start button. We're gonna have to switch this to 500 millisecond time base because I'm not gonna be able to capture that fast enough and run back to the car. Yeah, and run back to here to stop the recording. So we're on 500 millisecond time base. Now let's go ahead and turn on the is it still on? Is it off? Yeah, now it's on. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this on. Got the green light. As you can see, we now have 13.5 volts on the yellow trace. And look at that. Looks like it's pulsing. Yeah. We got some pulse width modulation going on there or something. Anyway, let's go ahead and crank this car up. See if it'll start. Yeah, this car is raggedy. It's been sitting for a while. This is my E36 project car. Okay. Alright, it started up. Let's pause it. Got it. That was impressive. It started it up. Alright, so let's see what it looks like. Yeah, 14, 15 volts with it running. Peak voltage at 18. I guess that's when it started. This is cranking right here. Obviously, the ripple. That's while I'm cranking it. Alright, so while we're cranking it, we have 2, 4, 6, 8. We got about 8, 9 volts while it's cranking. 8.5 volts it looks like while it's cranking. Can we get some detail on that? Man, it's cold. Yeah, it won't tell me. But anyway, on a 2 volt scale, that's about 8 or 9 volts. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 volts cranking. And how much amperage do we pull? Oh, it went down. I gotta reverse that. I gotta flip that over. Alright, so cranking, we pulled 100, 200. Wow. 100 amps per division. So that's 100, 200 amps. So we pulled almost 300 amps intermittently, up and down. So we pulled about 250, about 250 amps, 220, 250, somewhere around there during cranking. The first hump is almost 300 amps. $100, $200. Yeah, the first hump is almost 300 amps. It then leveled out right there. I don't have any misfires. You can see that right there. But anyway, yeah. So we got almost 300 amps on the first crank. And that's with the Viking. It's pretty cold outside right now. I'm in the middle of a snowstorm. Well, it just got finished snowing. See? It's probably about 30 degrees. I don't know. I'll check the temperature later. Alright, so we dropped down to about 8 volts. And we got almost 300 amps max during cranking. That's pretty good. That should get this car started. I mean, it's only a 2.5 liter straight 6, but it did the job. So let's go to the next one. Let's go to the GB40. See what we can get with this one. Let's turn it on. It is on. Let's put it in bypass mode. Okay, ready to go. Let's see if we can put it in clear flood mode while holding the pedal all the way down. Alright, that should be enough. Okay, let's see what we got here. There we go. That's a little better. Now let's stretch it out. Didn't crank as long as the original one did. I mean, as the first try, because the car was sitting for a long time, so it cranked longer to start. But let's see what we got. 100, 200. I may have to redo this test with this one. Let's turn this off. Because the car hasn't, well, the car was started, so it's different circumstances. We want to see what it's like to start a car that's completely dead, like, and sitting for a while. But this looks more consistent. Cranking amperage is 100, 200, so it's about 200 amps. And yeah, about 200, 220 amps, 230, somewhere around there, max. I guess that's all that's needed to start this car. And as far as the voltage, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, about the same thing, 8 volts. Did one crank faster than the other? I can't say that I noticed a difference. They both did the job. They both cranked relatively slow compared to like a fully charged battery, but not so slow to the point where the car wouldn't start. Yeah, they both did the job. So let's go inside and talk a little bit more about that. It's cold out here. So the results for the amperage draw test, how much amperage was required to start the car, were pretty close. This one pulled a little bit more amperage because the car, this was the first one to go, and the car was sitting. It hadn't been started in quite a few months prior to me starting it up just now, and I was using the Viking. So yeah, it pulled a little bit more amperage, you know, to overcome whatever it needed to overcome, you know, that cold oil and, you know, just sitting. And this one didn't pull as much amperage, but it was relatively close. This one pulled almost 300 amps maximum the first revolution, first crank. And this one pulled about 220, 230 amps consistently to get it started after this one had originally started up. They both dropped down to about 8 volts, 8, 9 volts. And this one put out more resting voltage. I think it was 13.6 and this was like 12.6. I don't know the reasoning for that. Maybe I don't know, maybe it was because I have no explanation. I don't know, but this one put out 13.6. I can do it. I can check that again with a meter to see what the resting voltage. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that. Let's check these two with the scope and see what kind of voltage we have at rest. Alright, we are going to use the Dytex car scope visor. Dytex car scope visor. Let's go to the voltmeter setting. So let's put this up. Ready, negative, positive. Let's turn it on. Now let's put it in bypass mode. .1 volts. Okay, turn it off. Wow, we got 13 volts already. I don't even have it turned on. Why do I have 13 volts there? Something is wrong. Okay, now it's on and I don't have 13 volts. Yeah, what's up with that? Alright, so let's put it in the jump start mode. 13.5 volts in jump start mode. Let's turn it off. Nothing. Why do I have 13 volts present with this thing turned off. I don't know, maybe it's just it uses that voltage. It's probably really low current voltage, and it probably uses that to make sure that the leads are not shorted together, and it won't turn on if the leads are shorted together. If it senses 0 volts there when it turns on, it won't turn on. If you have 0 volts, then obviously there's a short, but that's what we got. 13.5 volts with this thing with the Viking turned on, and 12.5 I think it was. Yeah. Which one would I choose? I like the Genius Boost. It just seems to be built better. It did the job. It doesn't have 13 volts sitting at rest, but it did the job. Seemed consistent. This one seemed consistent. The leads are built better on this one by far. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. The leads on this are a little flimsy, but it did work. I don't know how well it will work on a higher displacement engine. So keep that in mind. This is kind of a restriction point, the leads. And I don't like that it comes out of the side. This comes out of the bottom. It seems more convenient. The leads are shorter. It would be nice if they were longer, as long as these. These have longer leads. The Viking has longer leads. But yeah, it works good. They both work. They both did the job. They both started the car. I knew this would start the car, which is why I tested the Viking first, because it would have a more difficult time. Yeah, I knew this would start the car. The Genius Boost GB40. I knew this would work. There were no bad reviews on this. There was no bad reviews on this, but I was skeptical on this, so this is the reason why I started the car first with this one. Just to make this job a little bit more difficult. Real world situation. And it did the job. So that's good. Money well spent. I'm not sure if this is still $87 on Amazon, but when I got it, it was $87 and some change. In conclusion, they are both good jump packs. So you can't go wrong with either one. This one is built better. They both will work. Thanks for watching.